one of his tabs.
Oh no!
Isn't that the smut place?
No.
Well, no, that's where we go for. Actually, might not even know because I don't think we even share what the website we go to, but that's where.
The
I've
very
said it before.
first YouTube
I feel like-
strike we
yeah.
ever got because
Was linking to that website.
And it won't be old fans only because guess what's coming Monday? A little sneak peek.
Oh, can't wait.
Ooh.
So yeah, had a smut. She had a smut website open.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
There was a story about a character essaying another character from one of Stacy's favorite shows in a graphic detail. It disgusted my husband so much that he stormed into Stacy's bedroom, confronting her with it, and began yelling at her for reading it. Stacy cried because he called her disgusting during it, and then Josh took the phone back to our bedroom where he stayed for most of the day. Probably kept reading it.
Yeah, was he reading it? What was he doing?
The same thing, like, why'd you stay in the bedroom all day?
Yeah, all day is weird. When I came back home from work, Josh told me what had happened and demanded we punish our daughter by taking her phone away from her for the next 2 weeks and sending her to therapy. I said no to all of that and asked Josh why he was snooping through Stacy's phone in the first place. He couldn't come up with an answer. I told him that there is much worse things like Stacy could be doing than just reading about something so dark, that he invaded our daughter's privacy and hurt Stacy's feeling by calling her disgusting. I took her phone out of our bedroom and gave it back to Stacy. I then told Josh that he should apologize for evading Stacy's privacy and calling her disgusting. Josh has since apologized for calling our daughter disgusting, but hasn't apologized for snooping and refuses to do so. He says I'm being an ass for expecting him to. Am I the asshole?
No.
Feels good to be right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like to read, me not included with that. I'm a terrible reader, but I feel like you can access those type of books, whether if it's that website or you can. I mean, a lot of books that are recommended by TikTok has those types of themes and in stories. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
It's like an extremely popular Harry Potter fan fiction that's
I've heard.
and
Yeah,
it, it has Draco essaying Hermione.
No.
Like, that's how it starts.
Oh, God.
I haven't read it, but that's apparently a very popular fan fiction, and I'm like, oh,
Well, I mean, even
why?
50 Shades, like, bore out of, was it Twilight fanfiction, I think? So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I think it's more of a place where, like, first-time writers try things out. There's obviously horrible things
Damn,
on
her
there,
face is
but
in center.
Archive It For Your Own isn't all smut, guys. That's just where I
No.
find my smut without getting thousands of pop-ups. But they
Exactly.
have, like, other, like, for anybody type of stuff on there.
Yeah, it's like Reddit. You can go to the dark parts if you want to.
you can.
But
You definitely can.
most people are in the chill subreddits.
Yeah.
The way John
And-
says, you definitely
Holy
can,
shit, there's
but
too many
some
people
of
here.
the fiction works. I'm
know,
not gonna
but-
lie.
I didn't notice it jumping up that high.
Oh,
You're just browsing,
you
baby.
definitely can. You definitely can. Relax.
A little too much zest on that response.
A little NSFW filter.
Does not exist on John's phone.
No, but really, it's for the dad to double down about. Okay, I can understand some concerns. This would have been a little different if the dad had gone like, "Hey, I was using your phone and I was going online, or I was using the web browser, and I just happened to stumble upon this book. It's a little concerning. Are you okay?" Have that type of conversation, but
Yeah.
immediately the dad went, "You're fucking disgusting,"
Yeah.
without getting any
Immediately
context.
shaming is crazy.
Immediately shaming the daughters.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part. Had the dad approached it more dadly, I guess. That's the best way I can put it.
With
This
more
might have been
empathy.
like a different,
Yeah.
with more empathy, more understanding. Like, hey, are you cool? Is everything okay? Instead of just straight up shaming her. Judgment might have been a little different, but the dad doubled down and say like, "Nah, I'm not gonna apologize for snooping." And what the fuck? Your phone died. Why don't you go charge it, fool? Like, why do you have to use your
Yeah.
daughter's phone for that?
So that's where I'm coming from. I'm like, this weird that you're snooping through. her
Holy
shit.
shit,
Like,
there's
if you
54
can come up with
people.
a good excuse.
Yeah.
To text to his
Dude, I
mom
just
or
panic
something
and
like
shut
that.
that shit down.
But like, does the text need to go out right away? Can you not charge your phone? You're in your own house. Do you not have a charger for your phone?
I feel like you stay at home in your room the whole day. You could have just laid down for
You
5
could have
minutes
just
and let it
started
charge.
Send that text later, brother.
You're right. It might have been a premeditated.
That's what
snooping.
I'm thinking. Where I think he's snooping on purpose rather than it just being a quote unquote coincidence. Like he's.
I could
letting
say
it out to be.
this though. What do you call it? He could have borrowed the phone, because he felt like he needed to text, and while he was there, he was like, "Well, I have the chance to. Might as well snoop." Because I feel like a lot of couples will check their partner's phones for things.
The way I immediately yell out, "I'm so sorry! I accidentally opened the tab." I'm like, "Look, I didn't look.
Yeah, I don't know, and I get like wanting to monitor your children's like online activity, but that's something you do together as well. Just going off of what John said, like coming in from a more empathetic approach, as well as talking to your partner before you talk to your daughter about it, because I think
That too.
like then you're going into it together and you have a plan rather than just storming in and screaming.
Yeah,
at it.
going in hot like that was a huge mistake.
Exactly.
Especially when, there could be a misunderstanding. I will say this, though. If I, and maybe this is incorrect, but if I had a cis straight son reading stuff about characters essaying each other, I maybe would go in hot, and that's probably bad on me as a parent. But I would maybe be like, is my son a fucking danger to society? That would be my first instinct, which would probably not be great.
Yeah, I think
Head's all
I
wrong.
think you gotta go at it with empathy
Thank
as well,
you.
because I think, like for me, I think it's like you have a discussion about that and be like, all right, this is not okay.
But I'm just saying, like, my initial instinct, which I admit is wrong.
For sure.
I would be scared. I would be like,
Yeah,
Hey, at least you called it out now, so that way, if that situation ever arises, you can
now
come
I
back
know
to this
not to
conversation.
do that.
Exactly. See,
just a Nancy.
it's a learning lesson, buddy.
Go joint together, like y'all said.
Yes. Good cop, bad cop.
Practicing.
I'm not sure who would be the bad cop, and that's
Definitely me. What the fuck, brother?
So Reddit deemed not the asshole, as I'm sure we can imagine.
Rightfully so.
Lechin12345
shaking?
on our subreddit said apparently it's a fanfic of House of the Dragons, so it's honestly not much worse than the source material, but seriously awful reaction.
Game of Thrones discusses.
Oh, yeah. I've
incest
never
all
watched
the
Game
time,
of Thrones,
so-
but yeah, isn't there essay all over the place in that show?
Oh yeah,
all over the place.
yeah.
So, if the dad has ever watched and enjoyed Game of Thrones, he has no room to talk.
That's probably why he stayed in the room the whole time and probably read the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. I really hope that's not the case.
It probably is the case.
CamCree1 underneath that comment says, as a pretty active member of that fandom, House of the Dragons, and I also write fanfic, fuck OP's husband, I can't even imagine how embarrassed I'd have been if someone had done that when I was her age. I'm really curious how the husband tripped on the way from messages to her Safari, all the way to her browser history where he saw AO3 accidentally started reading and then didn't stop. Why do you need to
The
open Chrome to
torso's
send a
too
text?
long, and that's why it looks weird.
Also, I didn't know we had acronyms for my.
Yeah,
for my
free
most
Palestine.
popular shots.
Ceasefire now.
In regards to what John said,
Free Sudan,
OP's
free
husband better not
Congo.
enter the YA or new
Free them all.
adult section of Barnes & Noble. He might be at serious risk of challenging his preconceived notions. She's 17, not 12.
I gotta say, is essay like a?
You draw
I
like a
don't-
s-
obviously.
So you draw slow or you
I
draw
don't read.
bad?
Is that like a common trope in these books? Also, why? Why is that?
Well,
I feel like that's.
I think people write from like a place of like the essay happens in the real world, right?
For
And so
sure.
I think writing about real world things that happen, some people find comfort in reading that if it's happened to them potentially. And
Oh,
this is coming from me, a dumbass. Who know? I cannot.
we all have no.
Why is that? I think it's because I'm not making. I gotta make the neck longer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
just
neither
'cause-
do I, other than
I mean, it's also with like the content I choose to take is like very much never sad. So it's
That
for
too.
me. I would like reading about that would be devastating.
Do that.
So
which is a good response to that stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Because like on first instinct, if I saw my kid reading that, I think I would be pretty concerned. I definitely you know, and then maybe this, you know, like I said, this is wrong. Depending on their gender, if they have gender, you know what I mean? I might go in hot.
Right.
Just because we've seen so many weird dudes and read so many weird
Weirdos.
dude stories.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why this is a common thing, but it is a common thing, and it's, you know, to each their own. It's just reading at the end of the day. It's like video games. Like, what's wrong with all this murder? Well, it's just a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, TV shows, there's murder, there's all kinds of stuff on there that, you know, people experience. So I think it comes from more of a people write down their experiences or
Real life things.
Right, that people can connect with. And that is a thing, unfortunately, that happens in the real world, just like murder, you know, just like overdose, all that kind of stuff that people do write about. And I think that's maybe why it's common. But again,
Yeah.
I'm not a writer. I'm not a.
Well, I mean, talking
reader.
to you about it is making it make more sense in my head about like why people would write, or like, you know, because to me, if a book started off with that, I'd be like, oh, all right, time to choose a different book.
Hey,
but
we
that
do
makes
have a lot
sense,
of-
you know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a lot of Wikimaniacs who are literal
Scholars.
Yeah, literary great.
I saw a video.
We're not,
I don't know.
I can't even
Yeah.
literate this. What I'm saying right now. So,
I gotta say,
explain. If you know the reasons, please let us know.
For sure.
I mean, and you know, I have.
Actually,
to
that'd be
say,
kinda cool.
I maybe have read 10 books my entire life.
Raven Queen.
Like,
Same, and
A
most
leather
of my-
jacket.
obviously, I don't know shit. So, yeah, take everything I'm saying about this with a grain of salt. I'm very new to the culture.
Dude, I hate drawing bodies. I drew a figure and then I have to just erase all the figure because I gotta draw fucking.
Sends me stuff from it because she's.
You gotta draw
booked as fuck,
clothes.
Yeah, Nancy and her friends have like book dates now, and I'm like, that's sick.
Oh, that's
I feel
cool.
like I should read more, but I'm like, where's the time of the day? I have at least 8 hours of wrestling I must consume every week. During the middle of football season, I mean, when do I read?
And we have podcast date every week.
Yeah, I've got a podcast. Now I'm doing 2 of those again, like an idiot.
Exactly. I got one more comment here that I thought was funny. So the guy's name that she used was Josh, and Green Eyed Cat went on to comment, does the house lack outlets? Chargers exist, John. He wanted to snoop, and Johnny, if you don't know about it, like fanfic and AO3 and just general tropes about fan fiction, my God, imagine being so boring. Imagine. An appropriate lower score user 6527 said, "Who the fuck is John?"
Is this on our subreddit?
That's supposed to be a hand.
Oh, damn, why did I get blasted?
Oh, I'm drawing,
names confused because, like you said, generic.
I'm trying to draw the character Raven Queen
They
from,
just read John and got
My
really
God.
angry.
She's traced for no reason.
But I thought it was so funny because it was the perfect use of "Who the fuck is John?"
Damn it.
oh, it's a she.
All right.
The drawing's a
next one,
she.
we
I'm
got
drawing
Crossbows
Raven
and
Queen
Little
from
Jolly
Ever After
Panda.
High.
And this one's titled, "Am I the
I
asshole
will
for
be
telling
changing
my
her clothes a
husband
little bit.
to fuck himself?"
Some husbands do be deserving that language. So I say, no, not the asshole.
Yeah, solidarity here. Until dudes prove otherwise that they know how to act right, you could tell them to fuck themselves. 'Cause
Digital
a
art?
lot
It's
of
coming
them
right
really
off
do
the
need-
heels. It's
I
coming right off the
originally
heels of the
started
shitty
as
husband
digital
story.
artist
True.
because I have a red
Yeah,
bubble.
the first one was. "Am
But
the
I just
asshole for
hate
telling my
it
husband
so
to
bad.
apologize?"
I'm so
Now it's,
bad
"Am
at
I
it.
the
It's a
asshole for
completely
telling my
different
husband to
medium.
Fuck themselves.
I've always been
Okay, so
I've always
my
been,
husband, 34 male, and I,
a traditional artist. So when I try to switch it
female, are new
to
parents to our
digital,
10-week-old son.
it's just bad. And I don't like being bad at shit, especially when I'm usually good at it. There's nothing more humbling than
Baby, they've been together.
being bad at something when you're usually so good at it. So I haven't drawn anything digital in
Illegal in the law of
probably
Shaw.
months.
The Constitution.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, since our son was 1 week old, my husband has not been home due to traveling for work on contract. So I am by myself with our son 24/7. I've broken down a good 4 to 5 times as I feel very alone and overwhelmed with a newborn by myself while also trying to recover from postpartum. My husband expressed once he was home he would allow me a break. What a nice guy.
yeah, this is a girl.
I bet you he did it.
Sounds like no.
My husband came home for the holidays, and I requested for him not to bring any negative energy into the house once he is home, as the baby can feel that. Especially since my husband has been away for so long that that I just wanted them to have a good time bonding and welcoming him back. He became angry at me for this.
But you're also a parent of that child. Why don't you want to bond with the kid?
I think he's more angry about her being like, don't bring any negative energy.
Shout out.
Which
Who
is
am I
like,
shouting out?
Don't bring negative energy to
Hilarious
kids
that I
with
did
But,
the opposite.
He's probably like super defensive about it, and then it's got.
I'm
take
trying to incorporate the model I'm using. The model's clothes that she's wearing. I'm gonna mix up because it's Afro punk. So I'm gonna mix up the models.
You don't want. I
Am I
got
the drama?
I understand.
So,
Just don't be negative. What the fuck are you
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Actually,
But yeah, and I'm gonna mix it with her
I'll be what I want to be.
her normal outfit. That's why there's these
So
bird
fast
things, because that's what she
forward for 2 to
wears
3 weeks in
canonically.
his home, He barely interacted with our son. He would always
My
be on his phone
son.
scrolling through Instagram or watching YouTube. I gently asked him if he could play and interact with him, as this is an important time for them to bond. My husband then accused me of saying that he's an absentee parent, which he is.
Bye.
You kind of are.
Then, if my husband does hold our son, it's for about 5 minutes, and then he'll say, "Here, go back to your mother," and then hand him back off to me.
Damn.
Oh,
If our
what's
son
that?
cries, he then yells at him to stop and tells him that there's nothing wrong with him, and that I've just
Oh, that's
spoiled him,
exactly-
and that he's gonna break him from that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's not how you talk to a
He
child
never
at
makes
all.
our son bottles or change his diapers.
Sorry about that.
Nor does any of the baby's laundry or get up with him during the night. Yet, if I'm
Which is
doing
better,
it, then he's
flash
criticizing
off,
me and telling
flash
me I'm doing
on.
it wrong, or I'm not doing enough.
I think flash off is
Keep in
better.
mind, I have the baby all day and night. I only eat once a day, and I'm usually good 2 days between showers.
And she's probably breastfeeding at this point. She's only
Probably.
eating once a day?
Yeah.
And a baby's sucking all the nutrients out of your body, and you're eating once a day, baby girl. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta use a reference. I don't know how people draw without a
Yesterday, I
reference.
pamper myself somehow. Prior to pregnancy, I loved painting my nails, so I thought I would try it again last night. My husband had been in the bathroom for 45 minutes, so I fed our son, strapped him in the baby wrap on me as he fell asleep. I sat in an open area of our home and by the patio for airflow to come in, and I painted my nails using organic products. Any of the products that had strong smell, I quickly used it and discarded it. I was completed with my nails at a max 25 minutes, and my husband comes out of the bathroom stating I'm endangering our son and that I'm a selfish mother. He then tries to take our son off of me, and I express that he's sleeping and I don't want to wake him, as he's not been feeling well all day. My husband then accuses me of trying to keep his child away from him. It's just
oh
ridiculous.
my god.
And that he doesn't know what's gotten into me. I guess I
Raven
just hit a
Queen
breaking point in frustration,
from Ever
tiredness,
After
and
High.
anxiety, and I told my husband to go fuck himself. I know it was quite extreme, and I shouldn't have said that. I'm just at my wit's end, and I'm
You should
feeling
have said
like
it more.
you should have said it way more.
That is
Earlier
letting him off.
than that.
I'm just at my wit's end, feeling like I'm the only parent, and then getting scolded for trying to have to do something for myself. So am I the asshole?
No. There's no scenario where you're an asshole in any of this story.
What do
that you
Hershey's look
mentioned.
like?
Not at all.
Granted, he said she said the husband was in a contract work. I would normally be like, why aren't you in paternity leave? But I can understand sometimes contract work, those are not like paternity leaves are usually not included in those situations. So that might have been something that was out of his control. That part I can
It is. I really liked it as a
I'm
kid.
just mad at him about
I
that
liked
part,
the
to be
first
honest.
couple seasons. I hated the ice one, and I hated the dragon one.
And
I think they could have been better.
Is barely recovering. She probably
It's
pleaded
just
her
my
case saying that,
opinion.
hey, I've only been eating once a day. I've only been showering every other day. I'm with this kid 24 hours. Oh, and by the way, I just gave fucking birth.
Yeah.
And for you to not take any responsibility or an accountability as a husband, you're a shitty partner. Now, I don't know the whole fumes, how that works with the whole like nail painting stuff, but as a husband, you should
the ice one was
be
your
able to,
favorite?
like, be aware of that. Hey, she
That's a
hasn't been able
choice.
to pamper herself. Like maybe, not even maybe. I need to fucking, give her some break and take the kid with me. And spending 45 minutes in a pooping or shower or whatever, that's something that's gotta change, is knowing that you have a kid, right? So a husband is a complete douchebag in a situation. He can definitely fuck himself like 30 times, and I would not give a shit about him. So,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, like I just don't know how you could say you love your wife and love your child and then just do something like that. Like you're watching your wife eat one meal a day,
Is you
shower every other
UDBR?
day,
I don't know what
stressed
that is.
out, and then you just see a baby there and you really don't care unless
And yell at
it's
it
something that
to
you think
stop.
she's doing wrong.
Yeah.
So it's just like, did you even want to be a dad? Did you want to be in this? It sounds like no. And it sounds like, again, I don't know, Sean's law coming into effect here. The fact that she feels so bad about telling this guy to go fuck himself after bad thing after bad thing this guy does. You just gotta assume that the age gap has asserted some type of power dynamics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows how long
Talk
they've
to
been
him,
dating?
Sean.
But like 23-year-old with like a 32-year-old. You're fresh out of college. This guy seems like he knows what he's doing. Yeah, maybe everything's not so equal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my opinion. Again, Sean's law isn't real law, but we are making progress, guys. Petitions are being signed. Just keep talking to your local elected officials.
Ooh, that'd be so cool. Like shoulder
I agree
pads.
with, everything.
The feathers as shoulder pads on a
For
leather
me, I
jacket.
think the worst part is him being like, I'm gonna break him of that
That'd be
habit.
cool.
And it's like
That
you
is
just
scary.
cry.
Baby, he's a baby.
Yeah, I get being frustrated as a parent listening to like a baby crying. I've heard, you hear many stories of parents being frustrated, and especially if they're not sleeping and crying a lot.
Yeah, I understand. You're trying to I know a lot of people are like, all right, let the baby cry for a little bit, but I don't know. It seems, especially if you're like such a
Yeah, I draw men.
non-protective
I
parent,
actually,
it's
like,
just
5 minutes
feel like
ago,
you're gonna break the head. I'm like, I feel like
I
you
drew
guys
him.
should-
So that's where
I
was
drew
gonna go to,
Kakashi.
because I'm like, I get that with parents that are like
I drew
if
this.
She was upset with him for crying.
a little bit before I drew, a little bit before I started the live. Yeah. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so it's a huge red flag. Hopefully, nothing abusive. There's some comments that were like alluding to that she might have said something about him shaking the baby, and that he has all the money and stuff like that. So I'm hoping
Take
that's
that
not the
money from
case. I hope she can get out of that, because nothing but red flags from him, and I don't see a way for him. Like, he's not going to change, basically.
Nope. The crazy thing is, this is the same guy who'd be like, I want another kid.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
Because he didn't do anything for the first
It's
one.
like,
so
this
he's
shit
not
is so
hard.
easy. Let's do another one.
Yeah, no.
Reddit deemed not the asshole, and we'll move on. We said most of things the comments said, so we'll move on to the next story here. Cross posted by Goat Dog Mitzvah Bader, who is a patron. I found it recently.
Oh, hey.
Nice. This one's titled, "Would I be the asshole if I
Look
tell
at
my
this
sister
house here.
that our other sister had an affair with her husband?"
Oh my god.
Oh.
I'd fucking
I
kill him.
say no.
No, every time I listen to one of these, I love listening to Reddit
My
readings
partner's cheating
because
on me and they
I
know
just
that
love
was going out, and
hearing
he
people's
isn't
families
telling
who have
me,
worse
and
situations than
let me
mine.
be
Like, what do you
oblivious
mean
hurt
your
for the
mom
rest of my
fucked
relationship?
your
I would
husband?
cut them out
That's
so fast, so
insane.
save your sister
My
from
mom
a shitty
would
marriage
never.
or shitty relationship and tell them and free them. So
It's
I'm
like-
going out the asshole for this one.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's like,
Same.
what do you
I'd
mean?
like to know if I were the-
And it's like,
the
it's always the
wife in this
craziest
situation.
shit. It's like,
All right, so-
yeah, my husband's having an affair with like my grandma for 6 years and we've been together for 10. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Sure. And
Dude.
Lina,
Spelled
Literally.
Lina.
Lena?
Maybe Lena.
But also, on the other hand, every time I read these, I get mad. I get mad at my sisters. I'm like, they would never. They better never.
If their name is Angelina.
I'm like that one girlfriend who like has a dream of their partner cheating, so I get mad at them when I wake up. I'll walk out there like, you guys better never do this shit to me. And they're like cooking something. They're doing their own shit, and I'm here yelling at them like, don't you dare.
Same small town, about 12 hours away from me, my brother, and our parents. Then Jess moved
looks
here
like a little
for better
skull.
job
I'm gonna put a little
opportunity
raven
and
skull.
for more help with my niece, Amy, 12. Jess hasn't even been in town for 3 months yet, and the last week she went and dropped a terrible fucking bombshell on us. Jess spent a year fucking Lena's husband, Jeff, and they even had a miscarriage together in that time.
Yeah. Did they say how old the husband was, Jeff?
This motherfucker's like Sean Rule.
Sorry.
I mean, she's 21, or she was 22, so she was 21 when she was fucking this dude. You gotta imagine he's around the same age as Lena.
They're all 30s.
Oh, wait.
So.
Wait, how old is Jess?
Jess is 32, Lena's 34. So they're well above the Sean. The Sean rule doesn't come into play.
Oh, I thought you said 22 earlier. I thought you said 22.
Sorry. Maybe I did.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's 30s. Sorry.
These are all rips. Imagine
he's
rips in her
29, I
tights.
guess.
All
Maybe that
right.
was where you got that.
Maybe, yeah.
So anyway, terrible either way.
Yeah, bad.
Lena has absolutely no idea. Jess brought all of us,
She doesn't.
me, my parents, my husband, and my brother, involuntarily into her shit show by just breaking down and dumping this all on us in tears after sending Amy off to play. Apparently, she was too guilty to live with herself without getting it off her chest somehow. The family is going nuts trying to decide what to do now.
What do you mean, what
We
decide?
urged Jess
Tell
to
her.
come clean herself to Lena, but she flatly refused, saying that Lena is her best friend and she
No, she's not.
refuses to lose her
She's not,
friendship.
because you don't.
Do you?
If you
Fuck
did, you
her.
wouldn't
Do
have
you
fucked her
really?
husband. Yeah.
Is she your best friend? I don't know.
And also that she feels it will break Lena's heart and destroy her family.
So why did you fuck her husband?
That's a
And
great
this isn't
question.
like a one-time.
I
For
know.
a year. Y'all almost
For
had
a
a
year
baby
is
together.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is my best friend.
Jesus.
I love Lena. I don't want to break up her family.
Lena and Jeff have 4 kids together. My niece and nephews ranging from age 18 to 10.
They're old enough for a divorce. I hate to say it, them.
Spider-Man?
You know,
Spider-Man what?
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's no right age for divorce. You know what I'm saying? But they'll understand that.
I'm also trying to do the math. She would have been very young when their first one was born, now that I'm thinking about it. 18? She's 34?
That's quick math.
Someone's gonna do that. Yeah, nope.
I think that's 18, right? Yeah. So maybe the Sean rule plays a part, but we don't know how old Jeff is.
Well, we don't know how long they've been.
Yeah, exactly. So,
We're just saying, like, it was probably the past year, right?
Raven
who
Queen
knows?
Or they didn't
from
say.
Yeah, it didn't
Ever
say.
After High.
So this could have been at any point in the last 18 years.
Any point, yeah.
That's crazy.
So a big part of me feels like Lena deserves to know no matter what, but 2 things are really giving me pause. 1, the kids, and 2, Lena's feelings. The kids love their dad, love their house, love their land. They'd be ripped away from all of those things in a divorce, would they not? And I worry a lot about how Lena would cope, if she knew. Lena has been such a devoted wife to Jeff, and she does consider Jess to be her best friend. It feels cruel to shatter her like this. Jess is pretty much dead to me over this, so is Jeff. I don't really know what to do, and I'm very torn. I just want to know what's best for Lena and the kids. Should I speak up since Jess won't, or not? I know infidelity is a sore subject when it comes to whether or not I should speak up. I need help. Would I be the asshole?
Here's
No.
what you do. I got
Oh, you were?
It's planned.
The Wolf and the Troll.
What you do
Talk to him,
is you
son.
have a conversation.
Yeah, I
with
remember
Jess.
doing those.
And while you're on having that conversation with Jess, accidentally call Lena. All right? You got Lena on the phone. You're talking
I
to
like some
Jess
oatmeal.
about it, being like, I gotta tell Lena, this is so fucked. And then she'll be like, I can't. She's my best friend. And Jeff, you know, it was just a mistake with Jeff.
It was just a
boom.
1-year mistake.
Yeah, just a mistake for 365 days.
Over
Yeah, over nonstop. Okay, yeah. Look, you're obviously not the asshole.
No, this is
Tell-
Raven Queen
in my opinion, because I would want to know. But look,
from
your 2 concerns.
Ever
The
After High.
18-year-old, they could sell him the house actually, and then boom, they don't have to get rid of their land. Also, kids are 10 to 18. Not saying that there's ever a right age for kids to get divorced or to experience having their parents get divorced, but like, there's 4 of them. They could figure it out, and plus, they'd rather the divorce happen than be stuck in being in the shadow of lies and things like that. Or at least I would.
Yeah.
If my dad was a piece of shit, I'd want to know. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it sucks because it's messy. You know, people are gonna get hurt. There's nothing you can do about it, but
Wait.
keeping Lena.
This is supposed to be behind her face.
Yeah, I agree. Sean said everything that needed to be said already. I do hate a backstabbing bitch. 2 backstabbing motherfuckers, even worse. I'd rather lose out on
The Evil Queen's a
dates,
human, right?
Especially like supposedly.
I think I'm
marriage.
thinking of Maleficent
If
Safari.
Jeffrey
Evil Queen's
respected,
human.
Like, the sanctity of marriage, should have never done that. And knowing that you were doing it with supposedly your wife's best friend, and both of them knowingly doing it to each other, and that's just fucked up. Those are supposed to be the 2 people that you trust the most in your life, and for them to be able to do that to you,
Because they're
those are not the
grown-ups,
type of people you
and
want
grown-ups
surrounding
can
you.
swear.
So, cut that out. Yes, it is going to be painful. There is going to be a lot of self-reflecting. You're probably going to question yourself, like, what did I do to deserve this? Is it my fault? Absolutely not. They're just 2 horrible people who just happen to get together. Yes, divorce is going to be messy. Figuring things out is going to be messy. But at least you're doing it now, and you still have a whole life ahead of you. Still have a whole life ahead with your kids. And they deserve to know that their father and technically their aunt, right?
Yeah.
Is a piece of shit.
Gross.
And you should never surround yourself with those type of families. So hoping if you ever hear about this, hope that you're in a better place, and hopefully those 2 people are completely out of your life.
Yes, I agree with everything you guys said.
I haven't done the
But I
hair
did
yet.
not
I haven't even
asshole
gotten the
as well.
face yet. I still fucking hate the way
if
I'm
you
drawing
did.
this face.
OP was to tell. And it comes along with an update here. So, OP goes on to say,
that
I had to
looks-
go to work and then bed after posting, but I've done my best to read as many of these posts as possible.
I'm
I
trying
really
to
appreciate
draw like a
everyone who
baby
gave
doll face. I
perspective and
think
advice.
because the Evil
The folks
Queen's.
who've been cheated on personally were especially eye-opening. I'd asked myself 100 times in the past week whether I should tell Lena just because I would want to know if it were me. Lena is honestly the most forgiving and timid of the 3 of us. Always has been. And when we were growing up, she'd get called a doormat. I would definitely want to know, but part of me truly worries that Lena won't thank us for this. It was an overwhelming response that showed me there's likely only one right answer, as painful as it's going to be. What pushed me to my decision were 2 things. 1, I don't want to be seen as siding with Jess instead of Lena in Lena's eyes when she finds out. I want it to be from people who love her instead of her feeling betrayed, thinking she has no one on her side.
The dolls always have
the
long.
people pointing out that she's currently potentially vulnerable to STDs. I know my asshole sister is clean, but I don't know about Jeff. And honestly, I've been so shocked over the situation that it didn't occur to me that he might be.
They all sort of have wavy
and could be
hair
sleeping with
because
other
that's
people.
just
That
the
was
style
final
most
jam.
doll
Yeah.
characters have.
I didn't think about that either.
But I think just
Yeah.
That
straight
was the final
hair.
push. I don't want to hurt Lena, but I'd
works
rather she never
great
talk to
for
me
her,
again.
you know?
Than hold her hand after herpes diagnosis, or while she has cervical cancer. Fuck that. I'm meeting up with my parents and my brother on Sunday morning, and we're gonna have a big talk about how to handle the situation. My
That
dad is
kinda
gonna
looks
be
like hair.
happy
That's
because
supposed to be the
he's terrified of
jacket.
How the fallout will affect Lena and the kids when she knows.
gotta fix
But
this.
ultimately, Lena being safe matters more. I'm going to lead with the suggestion of forcing Jess's hand and making her confess that this is her fault. We don't want to tip Jeff off so he can't try to weasel his way out with lies first. And honestly, the logistics of getting Lena in person are going to be hard, but we'll pull together and see what we can do. I'm definitely not suggesting the Zoom call. I know those suggestions were well-meaning, but if my family did that to me, I'd die of shame, so we're going to pass on that. My goal is to have us make a plan and where we deliver a watertight ultimatum with a short deadline to Jess, and then focus on what we could possibly do for Lena once she knows. If Jess refuses to fess up by the deadline, it'll probably be me and my mom telling Lena, in which case, wish me luck. Thanks again for the help, and I'll try to update again when I have significant news. So,
I think Jess for sure wants Lena to know.
yes.
Sounds like, yeah.
She's just too much of a coward to do it herself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously a coward. Only a coward would do this to their sister, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a great plan. I hope, Lena sees it as a good thing eventually that you told them. I'm sure she will be hurt and upset at first, but
Which is a perfectly normal response.
absolutely.
They should
yeah,
kinda
even
look
if
like
she's mad at you
horns
initially,
to,
I have a feeling she'll come
show
around and be like,
no one's
it's
here.
not your fault.
I don't care. I'll explain anyways. Fuck it.
Great plan.
I want
and
these to
hope
look kind of
see
like
an update
horns
when
to
possible.
show
With
like
me,
she got
let's
that
keep an
dog
eye
in
out
her.
for it.
She's still kind of evil.
Yes.
And then I
Keeping
think
tabs on the
bigger
feedback
crown.
you gave us, so
Trying
hold
to.
us accountable, but let us know as well because we're dumbasses. And
Yeah, I mean, we have like
Maybe it's like a magical
on
artifact,
Reddit, we
and
have,
that's
like,
why
a
she
post
wears
every
it.
time we have a new episode.
But like, I just
Then
think
also
give her a
on
bigger
Discord,
crown.
we have,
You know,
like,
she's a queen. She's a
episode
princess.
channel, so it should
And
be,
then
you know,
I think
it should be
long
easy
hair
to just
for her.
link it in there, tag us, or tag you know, the goat mid-score, or Saskia.
or y'all can help us out and get discovered on Reddit. People actually know we have a podcast. We do have it is an auto moderator, unfortunately, but all the episodes that come out, they do get posted on Reddit. So if you upvote them, maybe more people can engage with it, and hopefully more people can let us know that there's updates to the story. So
That's true.
just out there.
All right, next story we got here. Cross-posted
She has
by Double
abs,
Jolly Panda
'cause
again, twice in one episode.
Whoa.
They're killing it this month.
She likes to work out.
I think it might be the first time they're on an episode too, so shout out to you. And this one is, am I the asshole for not continuing my reception?
I mean, it's she. Oh, it's me. Okay, yeah, it's your.
I think that's
reception.
it.
You paid for
Okay.
it.
John,
Wait, say the title again.
am I the asshole for not continuing my reception?
Oh yeah, I just wanted you to repeat it, but I'm the solitary with my brother here. Yeah, baby.
We're forcing Josh into a punishment, baby.
No, there's another person. Right there.
So I lied to you. The full title is, am I the asshole for not continuing my reception after my husband went behind my back? I felt like she
okay.
gave away too
Well, then
much.
still.
but
Oh yeah.
you guys joined in.
You're
right? So it doesn't matter.
starting
still
out your
rocking.
fucking marriage going behind your spouse's back, bro. You were fucking up already.
Yeah.
So these kind of look
Alright,
like
so my now
horns.
husband, Lucas,
I think would be like
26,
really cool because like
and
she's still technically a villain. Like in the books, in some of the books that I've read, beautifully written by the way. She does have evil tendencies. Like there is like a case where she's like almost like
having a little girl together and
corrupted by the dark magic. So I think that'd be
leading up to the
cool.
wedding day, Lucas
I wonder if that's what they were gonna do with
best
them originally, and that's why she has that like kind of the widow's peak for them to look like horns. Because like it makes sense.
Never is this
Bruh.
appropriate, y'all.
I think I'm done.
Who was the first one that was like, what a great idea? And now all these people think it's a great idea. It's you fucking. There are, look, I don't want to call you a bum, but there are free ways.
Call him a bum, bro.
Yeah.
There's free ways to propose.
the
You
live.
don't have to have a big fancy, you know, engagement. There
I don't
are
really
sweet,
I very rarely pre-draw
kind and free
for
ways to
lives.
do it. And,
So however long the
honestly,
live is, this is
one,
how long I've been doing it.
especially when they didn't pay shit for the reception. Is
37
insane.
minutes.
I would
agree.
also leave my reception if my best friend started to propose. Or I would kick them out. Or I'd get the MC and be like, everybody boo this man. Boo!
We hate him.
Yes.
I told you guys the story of one of Sienna's friends wedding last year. She was like, "Oh, Josh, you should propose at our wedding."
I'm
And I was
done.
like, "I'm never gonna do that."